Hey guys, welcome back, my true crime junkies. This is Ida, your host. I am back with a new episode today. I know it's been a while. I've been out sick and life happened, but I am back. Hopefully I will be posting a new episode each week. So make sure that you subscribe to any of your favorite podcast platforms. I will be posting every week one new episode. If not, follow me on my Instagram or TikTok page. I will definitely let you know with notifications. Now, let's get started. Today, we are going to be talking about a very sad tragedy that happened to a 13-year-old girl and her family. This is going to be about the kidnapping of Jayme Closs. Jayme Closs, she, like I said, was 13 when this happened. She was born in 2005. She is the only child of James and Denise Closs. They lived in a small town called Barron, Wisconsin. They were a normal American family in their home, and this tragedy happened. Now, let's begin October 5th of 2018. Jake Patterson, remember this name, he drove by the Closses' home and with the intent of kidnapping Jayme. But the activities around the house deterred him from doing that. So he was afraid that he would leave witnesses. So Patterson made a second attempt 2 days later, but again, he aborted the plans for the same reasons. Now, October 15th, he made a third visit. Drove by. This time he went armed with a shotgun. This was shortly around 12:53 a.m. Patterson went ahead and parked his car at the end of the driveway. He was wearing a black coat, a ski mask, and he approached the front door of the home carrying the shotgun. Now, James Closs, the dad, he was 56. He aimed a flashlight through the glass pane in the front door and asked Patterson to show his badge. But Patterson responded back and called out and said, "Just open the fucking door." Patterson fired once and he fatally shot Mr. Closs. Now he's forcing his way into the house. Patterson checked every single room in the house because he wanted no witnesses left behind. So he came upon a bathroom door that was locked and he began to shoot the door. Inside this bathroom were Denise Closs, Jayme's mom, she was 46, and Jayme. Denise was comforting Jayme because she was screaming, crying loudly, panicked. Now it's around 12:53 a.m. Denise calls 911. While Denise Closs did not speak to the operator heard the disturbance, the yelling before the phone call just got disconnected. When the dispatcher called the number back, they reached Denise's voicemail. Patterson bound Jayme's wrists and ankles using duct tape and then fatally shot Denise, her mom. He dragged Jayme outside, almost literally slipping on the blood everywhere around the house, placed her in the trunk of his car and drove away. The police arrived 4 minutes after the 911 call. Patterson later told investigators that he pulled over 20 seconds down the road from the house and deputies sped by with emergency lights and sirens on. He saw the police driving up to the house as he was leaving. Neighbors said they heard 2 gunshots but dismissed them since hunting season was common to hear that around their homes. And after arriving at his cabin, Patterson made Closs change into a different pair of pajamas, then forced her under his mattress and sealed off all exits before going to sleep. Less than 2 weeks after Jayme's abduction, a man burglarized. Stuttered there a little. He burglarized the Closs's home, stealing some of Jayme's clothing. He was arrested, but not considered a suspect in the abduction or the double murder. Patterson took Closs to a house about 70 miles away in a rural area there in Gordon, Wisconsin, and held her in captivity for 88 days until she escaped on January 10th of 2019. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this murderer, Jake Thomas Patterson. He was born June 17th of 1997. Patterson's parents divorced in 2007. He graduated from Northwood High School in the nearby Minot, Wisconsin in 2015. Then he enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps, but was discharged after 1 month at MCRD in San Diego. Patterson's grandfather stated, "Something went terribly wrong. Nobody had any clues. We are absolutely heartbreaking. It's wrenching to deal with." He was shy and quiet. He backed off from any crowds, but a nice boy, polite. Computer games were more of his priority than social interaction. End quote. This is a statement that James Patterson's grandfather gave reporters at that time. Police did not believe Patterson had any social media contact with Closs or the family. Relatives of Jayme, any of the relatives of Jayme did not recognize him. Patterson's name, no one had heard of his name or recognized his picture or anything, so they've never come across him. Patterson told the authorities he saw Closs, Jayme, getting off the school bus outside the family residence in September while he was driving home from work, and that's how he knew she was the girl he wanted to take. Patterson believed that Closs was too afraid of him to make an escape attempt. He never put special locks on doors because she wouldn't escape, he assumed. They also slept on the same bed. Patterson would rarely let Jayme Closs out of the cabin, only for brief walks on the lawn after checking for bystanders. On the afternoon of January 10th of 2019, Patterson told Jayme he was leaving for a couple of hours. He put her under his bed before boxing her inside with his belongings, per his usual routine. And after he departed, Jayme pushed out all the objects around the bed. She ran from the house wearing a light shirt, leggings, and a pair of Patterson sneakers. Jayme came across a local woman, Jenny Nutter, walking her dog. Jayme Nutter recognized Jayme Closs from the news reports and immediately took her to a neighbor's house. And after police were called, Jayme Closs told them Jake Patterson had killed her parents, taken her, and kept her prisoner just a few houses away from her current location in the neighborhood. The neighborhood describes Jayme Closs as calm, quiet, dazed, and surprised that they recognized her from the news coverage. The police arrived around 4:45 p.m. and removed Jayme Closs from the area for her safety, of course. And the description Jayme Closs provided about Patterson and his vehicle enabled the deputies to spot his car just minutes after when James Patterson drove by the house. And after a deputy stopped him, Patterson exited his vehicle and said, "I did it," end quote. A hospital admitted Jayme Closs under guard. The next morning, they released her to the custody of her aunt, Jennifer Smith. She basically was very close to her. She worked at the Hormel factory with Jayme's parents, the company that owns Jamye. So they worked there together. And this company where they worked announced on January 24th that they would grant $25,000 reward money to Jayme Closs for rescuing herself. That is amazing. And James Patterson confessed to the police that he had kidnapped Jayme and killed her parents. He had no previous criminal history in Wisconsin. He was charged with 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and 1 count of kidnapping and 1 count of armed burglary on January 14 of 2019. His bail was set at that time for $5 million. On March later that year, he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of intentional first-degree homicide and 1 count of kidnapping. On May 24th, James Patterson was sentenced to a maximum of 2 consecutive life sentences in prison without the possibility of parole for the murders, plus an additional 40 years for the kidnapping. Douglas County authorities did not pursue charges against Patterson related to Closs's 88 days captivity because they did not want to bring Jayme in for questioning and believed there were enough, sufficient evidence to pursue a life sentence without parole, without needing additional charges. While in jail in March, Patterson wrote a letter in response to questions sent to him by some reporters from a television station in Minneapolis. Quote, he stated, he apologized for his crimes and stated they were committed mostly on impulse, contrasting with reports from the police that he had taken various measures in preparation for this crime, end quote. He added that his intentions from the beginning was to plead guilty in order to spare Jayme Closs and her family the trauma of the case going to trial. But later that month, a television reporter in Minneapolis received a cell phone call from James Patterson in which he briefly answered questions sent to him in a letter. And regarding the time Jayme Closs spent in captivity, Patterson said, we were just watching TV, playing board games, talking about stuff. We cooked a lot. Everything we made was homemade, end quote. And at Patterson's arraignment, his father had told a reporter that he had a note of apology that he was trying to get to Jayme Closs. He was transferred from Dodge Correctional Institution to an out-of-state prison in New Mexico. After her recovery and good news and good notes, Jayme Closs now lives with her aunt and her uncle, of course. And she's trying to get back to normal. She has become an advocate for other missing and exploited children. Her story has been widely reported on and has raised awareness about issues of child abduction and the need for greater support for victims and their families. So she has turned this sad, devastating tragedy into something positive to help other families and victims. So I do hope you guys share this, spread awareness, and just love your family, take care of your families, and just try, make the best to stay safe out there. So this is it, guys. Let's hope you guys listen, share, subscribe. Please make sure to like this or just support me with a small review on any platforms you're on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whichever one you like. But a review or a nice, just hit the like button. That'll support my podcast. And I truly appreciate everyone that's listening. And just keep an eye out. More to come in the upcoming weeks. Make sure to check me out in YouTube as well. And if you have any comments, case suggestions, send me a message and I will get back to you. All right. This was awesome, guys. Have a great weekend, holidays, and just be safe. Talk to y'all later. Bye.